place now, 'cause I don't wanna stay, wanna live my own life, wanna feel passion for something or someone that makes my world turn upside down, wanna give it up for something or someone that's better than this. So don't be too offended, I had to leave, there's nothing in for me, no, I'm not fitting in, I've packed my things to go, am I being naive? But it's my choice to make, it's my new rebellious way. Choice to make, it's my new rebellious way.
Hello, everyone. How is everyone? Can everyone hear me? Happy Friday. Who's ready for the weekend? I am. I am going partying tomorrow. Well, we're going to go for Spanish tapas first. And then there is a hip hop club night at a place in London that I've never been to. So I'll tell you how that goes and if there were any cute guys at the club. But tell me how are you doing this Friday? I didn't do a podcast yesterday because I was super busy. So sorry about that. But very happy to be back live again today. Okay, let's see who is in. Oh my gosh, 245 comments already. And over 300 of you in the chat already. My gosh, you'll just surprise me more and more and more with every single podcast. I'm just like, wow, and wow. And I'm so sorry, I don't get to do it as often, and it's becoming more and more difficult now to do it individually. But thank you, as always, to everybody who supports, who sends the super stickers, super chats, who sends through other means of donation as well, all of the members. Just thank you. Appreciate it so much. Let's see who's here this Friday evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are. I'm assuming it's like everyone because there's already like 400 of you in the chat. So. Hello, Denise. More. Let's see if I can see any new names actually. So hello to all the usuals, but I'm gonna give shout outs to new names or names that I haven't seen often. So Maureen Clark, you look new to me. Don't think I've seen your name. John Newbold. Jay Patterson, I think I've seen you, but you're not a regular talker, I don't think. I think some of you are like silent listeners. You don't talk that often. Let's see if I can. Michelle, was it Boudreau? Hello. Billet Porter. That looks like a new name to me. Let's see. No, most of the usuals. I can see all the usuals. But very much welcome to you. Welcome to all the newbies today. And thank you as always to all of the regulars for joining us this Friday evening. Well, let's see. Yes, hugs to you too, gentle kisses. How's it happening in New York? Are you all feeling a little bit more I don't know if relaxed is the word, but just a little bit more settled, because that was quite an unsettling incident that happened the other week. But I believe they got the guy, so I'm hoping that you all feel a little bit settled. Thank you, Marilyn King. I'll send you pictures of I'll post pictures on the community tab of me like falling out the nightclub. You get to see what I look like on a on a Saturday night out. Heslin, you'll be in London tomorrow. Okay. What are you up to in London tomorrow? Cinderella, I saw another one of your videos when you were on camera. You look great. You should be on camera more. Oh, thank you. Wait, is this on what are you talking about, my older videos? Like the earlier ones where I tried to actually sit in front of a camera and talk? Yeah, I tried that for a while and it just didn't really go too well because having to get my hair and makeup ready every single day and sit in front of a camera, it just didn't work. It didn't work. One day I do hope to go back to that and do like an actual, like proper live show where you see me and I'm talking and I've got the stories up on the side. But that day is not today. But we will get that. I feel like once I get to like 20,000 subscribers or something, that'll be the time to like switch and get, do like the whole like podcast studio with the lighting and all of that. Let's see who else is here. Oh, Risitas Casitas. That looks like a new name. Anya Smithers. That looks like a new name. All right. Oh, thank you so much to Cinderella. Thank you for the super sticker. I love that you all say hi to each other as well. I've still got that Sussex Squad mega meeting conference thingy on my mind. I will make it happen someday. I will. I really will. Okay, I think everyone said their hellos and everyone is here. So let's get to today's podcast. Just a reminder for those of you that haven't yet, please go listen to the Masters of Soul podcast that was published the other day. Features Harry and Alexi Ribashaw from BetterUp. Now, I know that there has been stories in the news about BetterUp and there being some kind of upheaval with a handful of the employees. I'm gonna wait to see if any more details about that comes out, because I've only seen a couple articles, and I have to say, and I think this is very important to point out, the articles themselves, one of them was in the Daily Beast and the other one was in the Telegraph, which we both know are propaganda anti-Sussex outlets. So that alone makes me very suspicious. Also, employees disagreeing with company policies and whatnot, please name me a single company where that just does not happen. So I feel like this is just another excuse for them to just put Harry in the news in a headline, to say something negative about something related to Harry, because if Harry did not work there, a handful of employees making a complaint at BetterUp would not make the headlines. And it's not, this isn't necessarily on whatever the problem is, if at all there is a legitimate problem, it's not necessarily on Harry to fix the problem. So, I hope the employees and, BetterUp come to an agreement, whatever the dispute is. But I just think I'm mindful of the fact that both of these publications are anti-Sussex, and it just feels like it's an excuse to put Harry in a headline. So that's all I have to say about that. Do you remember to thumbs up, please, and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already? Really, it feels like a contract issue with BetterUp. Yeah, it's probably just these things happen, in companies. Joyce, if Forbes or legitimate news was to talk about BetterUp, then we can believe. Yeah, and not many news outlets have actually picked up the story. So yeah. Anyway, just a reminder to go and check that out. Okay, let's get on to the main news stories. I saw this come up. Would anybody like to explain this, please? Fergie needed to remind herself to never complain and never explain. So she put it on her shoes. That's interesting because she was allowing Prince Andrew to complain and explain on her Instagram profile, and she later then deleted it. So I'm not quite sure what this is about. Do they sell these in the royal souvenir shop? Did she sew these herself? Did she get them made by it's Etsy sellers that like they'll customize clothes pieces for you? I have no idea what this is about. She had to have known that somebody's going to take a picture, and this would be all over the place. But I have no idea what this is about. Yes, these are cute. I think it's only because Harry works there. I mean, how many companies have disputes every single darn day? Yeah, legs. It's probably also just trying to say Harry because of Invictus did so well. And yes, Annie, because they're trying to make money. Jesus Christ on a bike. Jesus Christ just fell off of his bike because what in the name is this? Maxwell, it's a new fashion trend, but to put reminders on your slippers. And are they not literally slippers as well? Jean, does Megan podcast out tonight? Not that I know of. But seeing as you mentioned podcast, I will I will just let you know that for Portuguese speakers or anybody that knows anyone who speaks Portuguese and maybe doesn't always understand English when the English speaking squaddies are talking, there is now a Portuguese podcast that is being started by some Brazilian squaddies. So this is how global the squad is. I know that there are French based squaddies that often do spaces online, and they have their own pages too. But it's absolutely fantastic to see squaddies from all over the world starting their own podcast. And how amazing is that cover, by the way? Pictures from their Times special. So I will put actually let me do it now. I'll put the link in the chat, but I'm sure to also put it in the community tab as well. So let me just put that in the chat. And yeah, go support international squaddies. Spread the word, everyone. Okay, that's the link, and I've pinned it. I believe at the moment they've only got the trailer up, but I can imagine that they will start uploading more episodes. But she is not trading to throw shade at Harry and Meghan since they are helping her daughter with paying the rent on where she's living. Yeah. No, to be honest, Fergie's never really said anything negative about Harry and Meghan. She's always just answered me politely about them. She's never said anything negative. And also, they invited her to the wedding. Remember that Fergie wasn't even invited to William and Kate's wedding. So I don't think she wouldn't have a reason to throw shade at them. But it's just a very weird thing to walk around with slippers saying never complain, never explain. Mm. Tonya, I listened to the French podcast. Which is the French podcast? Which one is that? Can you put the name in the chat? Because I know there are French spaces on Twitter, but I've never actually seen a French podcast. Yes, Maxwell, we are diversifying. Indeed. Okay, so that is that. Oh yes, Elaine Parker, thank you. Do you know what? I literally only saw this when I was coming on live, so I don't have the picture, but I'm sure most of you are aware by now. There is a squadathon coming for Lilibet and Archie's birthdays. So I'll make sure to put a picture of that up in the community tab, but that is also coming. It is that time of year again. We have always done so well when it comes to the kids' birthdays. We had the Archie, what was it? Archie's something about planting trees some time back. And then we did for Meghan and Harry's birthdays, we did the Camp Fed. We did 12-hour squadathon for Invictus Games. I mean, we just show up and show out every single time. So please do show up and show out again for Archie and Lily's birthdays, and Tina Michelle and also Sussex Community Events is handling that. So of course I will update you as news comes in, where you can donate, volunteer, whatever it is that they are doing. So that is that. In other weird news, these pictures came out of uh, the UK of the Queen's grandchildren, photos being taken at I think this is Windsor or one of the palace grounds. And the only reason I bring this up, because you guys know that I do not like talking about the children and I keep the children out of this. But the only reason I bring this up is because number one, since when could paparazzi get past security and candidly take photos like this? To me, it just seems like, again, they're trying to use the children to distract, and to me, it's just tacky. Children need to be left out of this, and I think that these were photos for some kind of promotion that they're doing for the Jubilee, but it's just from like I feel like the parents and the institution needs to be called out for using the children. Like, it's not okay. We can't have another generation of royal children being used for PR. It's just not okay. Um, Paulina, it's Fergie's way of saying to everyone, don't ask her questions. Oh dear. Well, we're gonna ask, girl. We're gonna ask. Okay, let me just get through some of your comments before we get on to the next thing. Elect lady, maybe in reference to Prince Andrew, who knows? Thank you, Elaine, for the super sticker. Happy Friday, hun. Naughty Doctor. Oh, hello, Naughty Doctor. Fergie is probably concerned about the lack of statements regarding Andrew's situation. What do you mean lack of statements? Because Andrew, oh yeah, he got his. What didn't the District of York or something decide that they want to have his name removed? I saw something about that. And I don't blame them, to be honest. I mean, who wants to be associated with Andrew at this point? And, a lot of people keep calling for Andrew to have his title removed. The thing about that is he can have his Duke of York title taken from him, but he's still a hereditary prince, and he'll still get the benefits of being a hereditary prince. So really and truly, the only way I see justice when it comes to Andrew is for him to advocate his place in the line of succession, and therefore letting go of all of the privileges that come with being a prince. But I don't see him doing that. Maxwell, I feel like they need some good publicity, so they're using anyone and everything to get their name out of the mud. Yeah, and now they're using the children. It's really sad. Yes, Marilyn, they've sunk to new low using the children. Yeah, I love this picture of Megan and Doris so much. It's like Megan's just like got the brightest smile on her face. Megan looks like she just saw ice cream and pizza. That's a kid that just saw ice cream and pizza. Joyce, there should not be any information brought out about the Jubilee until about middle of May. This only gives the press something to talk about, even if the information is untrue. It's going to be interesting to see how the Jubilee plays out, to be honest. Oh, Amy, your daughter's birthday is the same as Archie. Your birthday is the same as Megan. How amazing! Oh, hello, Kat Harlem. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome to membership. A London lady. He lost freedom of the city of York. Guys and dolls, is it just me, or do they just literally make these things up? Because what on earth is freedom of the city of York? Like, what is that? Like, why is that relevant, and what does that mean? Andrew, this may be a way to draw out the Sussex's children. I pray that doesn't happen. Keep them private, Harry and Meghan. But William did say he's following tradition, so he's exploited his kids. Yeah, maybe they think if they show the other children, then I don't know. They're still stuck in this weird war in their heads where the Sussexes are battling them, which is just not the case. The Sussexes are minding their own business. It's the firm and the unroyal mafia who are battling the Sussexes. Cinderella, I'm sure the Queen has taken good care of Andy in her will. I'm sure too. That goes without saying, really. Hello, Church Nelly. Fabulous Friday to you as well. Okay, so on to the meatier stuff today. We had this, more of this, and a couple of days ago, if we all remember, actually, do I still have that slide, or did I delete it? Let me just check. Okay, I think I deleted it, but a couple of days ago, you had Edward and Sophie who were having a discussion with representatives on their Caribbean tour, and they were laughing about reparations, or even the suggestion of talking about reparations. And Edward even said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't taking any notes." Just seemed to find the whole thing hilarious. And here they are grabbing every black child that they can, and you everybody can see that none of this is genuine, that it's all for show. It's just so disingenuous, and to be honest, it just makes my skin crawl, because I think back when Harry and Meghan went to South Africa, and they visited those young girls who were getting the training for self-defense. They were talking to those women who were running a lot of these organizations as their equals. They were talking to the young girls, like how they felt about a lot of the issues. They were giving these people a platform to have their voices heard and show some of the amazing things that they're doing in their country and in their communities. And here you literally just have two people just going around taking pictures, no sense of what are we here to do to create impact? How can we create space for these communities to show um, the best of themselves to show a lot of the modern things that they're doing. It really it just makes me angry to like see these type of pictures, and I really do hope that this is the last time we see anything like this ever again from the royal family. I hope they never, ever, ever do a tour like this because, for example, when they go to, um, okay, no, I'm not going to make that comparison because that's not entirely correct. But yeah, I just hope this is the last time that we see anything like this. Mm, see, pre Andrew was recently involved in another scandal. He and Fergie and the daughters, he had to pay back 750,000. Yeah, that was to do with, wasn't it Beatrice's wedding? One of the girls' weddings? London lady. He's an embarrassment to York and Yorkshire. See, I don't really know how the titles and how gosh, what do they call them? There's another name for titles, but like, I don't understand like how they're given or why they're given certain titles to certain places. Maybe that's something I'll look into and do a video on. But it's not even like these places like they have a choice. Justice in regards to Andrew would be him in a jail cell for 15 years. Just 15, Rahini? Just 15? Yes, Joyce, they've put out so much PR since the Invictus Games. PR, but no impact whatsoever. Thank you, Lucy Wynn, as always, for the reminders. Yes, please thumbs up, subscribe, everyone. Prince Andrew will never lose his benefits. He is the chosen one. Yeah. But the thing is, I don't even get like why the obsession with Andrew when the Queen's got a whole Edward and a whole Anne, but Andrew's like the special one. And mind you, not that I see royal engagements as work, but Anne does the most. Anne does the most engagements. What was it, like 300 she did? Just like the year before COVID and all the lockdowns. So like how is she not the favorite? And she's pretty scandal free, other than her adulterous affair. But I mean, are you a Windsor if you haven't had an adulterous affair? Other than that, she's pretty much kept out of trouble, and she does the most work. So how is she not the favorite? How is the guy who has a bedroom full of teddy bears the favorite? Somebody please explain that. Okay, Harlem, I finally found a way to join. Oh, if you are struggling to um you all are struggling to join memberships, let me just post it in the chat now. But you can literally, if you go to my channel and you scroll along the top, you'll see like videos, playlists, community, membership, and you should be able to join memberships. And there's different levels of memberships depending on how much you want to support. But thank you so much, Kat Harlem, and everyone who joins. Church Nelly, I pray. I pray to see Thomas Markle with his KFC bucket of chicken standing next to Pedro holding his teddy bear up on that balcony during the Jubilee. Oh my God, Church Nelly, Church Nelly. You know what I'm gonna do now. You know what I'm gonna do now. Yeah, that's going to be one interesting jubbly if that happens. I honestly think that Dan Woo Woo, I think that he is now trolling the royal family because for all of their shenanigans, I really don't think that the royal family want Thomas Markle there. I wouldn't be surprised if he lands in the UK and Priti Patel is standing at immigration, ready to shoo him back And I honestly feel like some of these tabloid journalists, especially Dan Wooten, he's trolling the royals because he's not even an official royal rota rat. You know, he's a gossip queen. So yeah, Debbie, I think it's the same as giving you the key to the city. Oh, okay. You want Andrew to have the key to the city, get access anywhere and everywhere he wants to go. Sounds very dangerous to me. Lottie, I love that photo, and I hope Lilibet will look just like Meghan. But I think she looks a little bit like Harry. Yeah, because of the ginger hair, that gorgeous ginger hair. Okay, so that is Sophie and Edward. I don't know when their tour is ending. I feel like their tour has gone on forever now. It's like, finish already. Go home. So that is that. And give me a sec. On some slightly more positive news. So Invictus, which just overall, just to end the month, by saying what an amazing event from start to finish. They put so much thought into everything. I also heard that athletes that did not want to speak to the press because they had, anxiety or just nervousness, like were given like a button or something, and the press knew not to talk to them. So just such amazing attention to detail, thinking about everybody's needs. And the audience figures came in. The Dutch ratings for Invictus Games 22 opening ceremony was watched by over 1.5 million viewers. 1.5 million viewers. The viewing figures for the daily program scored between 500,000 and 700 views. Now, let me just Google what is the population of the Netherlands. 17 million. 17.4 million. That is the population of the Netherlands, and 1.5 million watched the opening. Like, wow. That is amazing. And the daily program between 500,000 and 700 viewers. I mean, 500,000 alone for the daily programming, that's double what Piss Moron was getting for his show. And speaking of Piss Moron, because he continues to fail, and you know what the rule is on my channel, I need to talk about Piss Moron to laugh at him. His Talk TV ratings plummeted again, and Sharon Osbourne's, who's also on Talk TV, dropped to 10,000. Guys, there are just under 9,000 people who are subscribed to this podcast. So that's just a little more than who are subscribed to this podcast. I think Baron's podcast is nearing like 13,000. I know Squaddies whose Instagram accounts have like 300,000 plus followers. So it's just flop after flop after flop. These numbers, Piers Morgan Uncensored did 86,000 viewers on Sky News and 63,000 on Wednesday night. And see, these figures, I think those ones from this guy's tweet, I believe they are Australian numbers. These are Australian numbers. But just all around, he continues to flop and fail. And I will continue to laugh at this flop and failure until he just flops all the way off a cliff and never comes back. Naughty Doctor, he can drive his flock of sheep through the city of York. What is that, Andrew? Yes, Church, no, they're still using black kids as I mean, if you seriously think about this, guys and dolls, there is so much that they could have done. They had so much opportunity to turn this trip around and turn it into something more modern, more innovative, but they just continue to do the same old, even after the disaster tour and all the criticism of Kate and Williams' tour. They still can't think. Do you know what? Let's bring in some diverse voices to help us mold this tour. Oh, yeah, Julia, it was Grab a Black Child Day. uh, yes, for delete. I'm throwing up too. A London lady, freedom of the city is similar to freeman of the city. It's usually afforded to distinguished members of the public, good traditional tradesmen, or London Bridge. Oi. And they decided to give one to Andrew. Miss P talks, this is their aristocratic society. Don't understand it, but they removed him unanimously. Well, they took their time, no? I mean, one has to wonder why they didn't do this before. Those pictures of him and Epstein have been swirling around for a while. But I guess, in a way, the good thing about them doing it now is they've done it just before the Jubilee is starting. So that definitely throws a spanner in the works. Yes, during Commonwealth, and that is another thing, actually. The adults who were in charge of those children at that meeting on the tour, they need to be slapped silly as well. And all of the adults who continue to allow children to be used as props for the royals need to be slapped silly too. Mampo Elen, I am normally a listener, but I'm here all the time. Happy Friday. Oh, happy Friday to you. Rahini, if they cared about those children, they would have bought school supplies since most of their parents would have lost their jobs. Yes, because these islands rely on tourism. Or better still, bring investment, business investment, enterprise, something that's actually mutually beneficial to both sides. Oh, I tell you. Courtney, the City of York was so proud of Andrew after the Falklands War, they gave him freedom to the city. That is separate from being the Duke of York. Okay. Also, is that why they gave him freedom to the city? Because of the Falklands War. Okay. Yes, Max, Walletta, it's getting out of hand. And the thing is, it's not like they're going to stop because they'll do it in the Caribbean. They do it here in the UK as well. But yeah, there was that. Also on Piss Moron, something that I didn't know. I've never seen this article before. According to an article on Medium, Piss Moron mentioned Meghan Markle 834 times between November 2017 and May 2021. And on his show, which I have not watched, but according to this individual who has, he has mentioned Meghan on all 4 days and every single night of his show so far. And you had Donald Trump mentioning Harry. For what reason, I don't know. But it just shows you that they understand the pulling power of Harry and Meghan. And what does it say? That neither of these two individuals, either Trump or Piss Moron, could do a show without mentioning Harry and Meghan. They've got nothing of any substance to offer because, truth be told, really and truly, nobody should really be concerned about Harry and Meghan other than their fans and the people who consume their brand. And even we don't, well, obviously I do because I run a podcast. But even the average Sussex fan, is not consumed with Harry and Meghan, every single day. These people cannot sit in front of a camera without mentioning two people who they themselves claim are irrelevant. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens in this upcoming court case with Murdoch Rebecca Brooks and Morgan, because I actually do wonder the way he keeps going after Meghan, and also even back in the day, I think people forget how much Moron went after Diana. If at all, he could be incriminating himself. Because at what point do you start to say, you know, a, where do you draw the line between this person is a journalist giving commentary on a public figure and this person is a bully using his journalistic title to bully someone? And that's something else I feel like as a society we need to look at. We should not be allowing people who call themselves journalists um, and have no journalistic integrity and don't actually offer anything in the way of good investigative journalism. They should not be allowed to just bully and target people. Because if it was me, a normal person, or anyone else going after someone the way Piss Moron goes after Meghan, that would be considered stalking. Amina, why does this put me in the mind of the 1800s when I look at these pictures? Because I feel like that's the look they were going for. That was literally the look they were going for. L LZ, the photos doesn't even have an ounce of being genuine. They think we are fools. That coupled with the nonsense Daily Photo headline says it all. Indeed. There is nothing genuine in those pictures. There's nothing warm in those pictures. You do not see that warmth that you see in Harry and Meghan's photos, in Diana's photos. Nothing at all. Yes, Benjamin. Thank you. That's the word that I was looking for when I was trying to think of the other word to do with title, peerage. That's it. I want to understand how the peerage system works. Thank you, Benjamin. Oh gosh, we've got people trying to sell hot girls on cam in the chat. No, thank you. We do not want to see hot girls on cam. It's the PG-13 channel. Yes, Kim Hamilton, the pictures off a show. Please stop using black and brown people. Max Felisa, Andrew has always been her favorite. As for Anne, she was her father's favorite. Really? She was Philip's favorite. I never knew that. Or Philip never let that be known either. Andrew was the fix baby. He was conceived to try and save the Queen's marriage. Well, that didn't go very well, did it? Look at how he turned out. Rohini, Anne was a son her father never had. Well, like I said, aside from her affair, she just seems like the most. She seems like the most royal in the sense of what they want royal to strictly mean. Robert, what's amazing is that the Queen can give the title, but it takes an act of Parliament to strip them of that title. Yeah, this is another thing that I want to understand, the whole process of how that works. Because if it takes an act of Parliament to strip them of their titles, well then wouldn't that have to be debated in Parliament? So would that mean that Boris Johnson and the whole House has to sit there and debate this? Because I imagine a lot of these laws were made a very long time ago and haven't been revisited since. Okay, so there was that, and yeah, Tina Brown, this lady. I've only mentioned Tina Brown once on this channel. I really tried not to give her too much air, and I'm only giving her air now because the squad, as usual, pulled out the receipts, and what good receipts they were. Tina Brown was friends with Weinstein. Um, she praised both Weinstein and Trump, and they threw a party. She threw a party with Weinstein to quote end the 20th century. And this was a launch party for a partnership with Weinstein. She quickly came to regret, she says. Well, this is a person who has everything and anything to say about Meghan, this person. So, as far as I'm concerned, her words mean nothing and they're worth nothing. Joyce Anne walks in the door and walk out the door. For these 200 engagements a year. I don't know what she contributes to this visit. Yeah, that's so true. I mean, if she can do 300 engagements in 1 year, she must literally walk through the door and walk out. Yeah, because seriously, like, what would you do if you had that many engagements? Like, okay, am I gonna have to? Do you know what? I might actually have to start watching the Royal Channel now to see what they do. Christ, the things I do for royal podcasting. Hey, lady, I don't see membership anywhere. Okay, I'll post the link again if that helps. But it should also be in the description box as well. And I usually post all the links in the first comment on the video and then pin it. Legs, did the parents give permission to use these photos? I am a person of color in a predominantly white community. I don't give the school permission to use any photos for my child. I will not be used for diversity. Good for you, Legs. I I don't know, to be honest. I mean, presumably they would just say there are going to be photos. You know, do you want your child to be there? But to be honest with you, I've never heard of any such agreements when it comes to these particular visits, even in the UK, which is a bit odd. Because yeah, maybe somebody should look into that. Do they ask for permission? It's a very good question. Lauren Anne does a lot of traveling, but did she actually accomplish anything? It was all show, indeed. She went to Australia, and the only thing I know about that trip is that she apparently packed her suitcase herself. That's it. Cinderella, who is paying for Thomas Markle to come over? Dan Rutan, apparently, because it seems to be him that's invited Thomas Markle. They still want the show trial that they never had. Yes, Suzuki Dan Rutan is trolling the royal family. Because really, what else is this other than a troll? And I think even Dan Wooten knows that the royal family used Thomas Markle to try and ruin the wedding. I think he knows because he was in it with Jason Noth. Joyce's whole jubbly has turned into a complete joke. The royal family don't want Thomas Markle there, so Dan Wooten is making fun of the royal family. Well, let's be honest. The jubbly by itself, in the middle of a gas crisis and food inflation crisis and living cost crisis, doesn't exactly make for a good headline. It's not like it's going to pull in the numbers. But Thomas Markle showing up, that's going to pull in the numbers. Cinderella, the palace guards will never let Thomas Markle in. We can stand outside. Lauren, I think Andrew tells his mum what she wants to hear. Of course he does. Yes, gentle kisses. I saw this stuff on Twitter about Thomas Markle. All of the photoshopping that the squad has been doing. Adobe needs to ban the squad from using Photoshop tools. We need to be banned. Remember when they paid for Samantha to come? Did they pay for Samantha to come? Was that when she was outside Kensington Palace? Didn't she get banned? I didn't know they paid her. Christ. I don't bet on another tour, but there is a recent survey that shows 51% of Canada wants the government to drop the monarchy and 61 not accept Prince Charles as king or Camilla as queen. This is a royal mess. Yes, and I love it. I love it all. Thomas Markle most likely doesn't even have a passport. This is all to get attention. Well, he has to have a passport because he's living in Mexico, no? God, I feel so sorry for Meghan. I mean, I know that, she's trying to move on with her family, but this is just constant background noise that she does not need. Caroline, everyone who goes to the Jubilee gets a bucket of KFC and a teddy bear. If they offer to give those out, I will actually show up. Okay, let me just check if I've got anything else before we go to comments. Oh yes, speaking of buckets of chicken, Duke of Mexico and Baron of KFC got 5,000 mentions as of this tweet from Mia Squaddy earlier today, and potential reach almost 500 million. Is that right? Am I reading that correctly? Jesus. 22.9k in terms of engagement. So yeah, don't mess with the squad because we'll get all the things trending. Duke of Mexico, Baron of KFC, Kate Middleton success story, Camilla Tominey is a liar, Prince William affair. What else have we got trending? I think we've got Roy and Nico is a liar too. We are unmatched. Terry Ann doesn't interact with the Road to Rats. That is a very interesting point, Terry. I have never thought of that. She actually does not interact with them. Is it that she doesn't interact with them or they don't care to interact with her because she just doesn't sell? Because I think that's what it is. I don't think it's that Anne doesn't interact with the Royal Road to Rats. Because every single time somebody from the royal family doesn't want to, play their game and interact with them, they kick up a stink. So I actually think it's that the Royal Road to Rats just don't care about her. And then you write about the other, the lower ranking royals when they're forced to. It's like now with the Sophie and Edward tour. On an average day, they really don't talk about those two. They're forced to now because they have to push them on this tour because they have to try and distract from the success that was Invictus. So that was a very good point, Terry, and thank you because I never thought of that. But I do think that it's them that don't want to interact with her. That's my theory. Yes, Thomas will be celebrating on GB News with Dan Wooten. Can't wait to see it. Like, they really think that they're hurting Meghan by doing this. They're making themselves look foolish. Maybe Andrew is Lizzie's love child. He's not balding like Chuck and Ed. Well, there's been rumors about that for a very long time. Delphine, those pics are so archaic looking. There's no connecting with reality. None to sovereignty. It's a state visit for what purpose? to gift a photo of non-relevance. And if you haven't already, if you go back a couple of videos, there's a video that I posted of Harry saying how ridiculous the whole giving, the picture tradition is. He literally said that it was embarrassing. So Harry has always been very self-aware. And what's interesting in that video is William says nothing. A TP, yes, I can't wait to watch the Invictus documentary either. They've been releasing kind of these HD clips that they've cut together of some of the games, and it just looks amazing. I hope that during the documentary we do get to see some behind the scenes stuff of Harry and Meghan talking as well. That would be amazing. And also, there was this that came out in the Hollywood Reporter about Spotify adding 2 million paying subscribers to the first quarter, falling shy of forecast amid Russia exit. But it did say in the article, he pointed to a growing appetite for podcasts from consumers and creators. You should expect us on a foundational business to grow the number of consumers and grow the number of creators. Eck added as Spotify secures podcast partnerships for Spotify originals with companies like the Obamas, Higher Ground, and Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, Archwell Audio. So I have no doubt in my mind, and this was another win for April. We did get a trailer for Archetypes, which is coming very soon. So I have no doubt in my mind that they will see a surge in subscribers and interest. And we've already seen what an impact Archwell Audio had for Spotify just with their trailer that was released the Christmas before last. So I cannot wait for Archetypes. Joyce, if they opened the Invictus opening ceremony in the US, the numbers would have been much larger. Yeah, I'm hoping that come next year, we'll actually get to see it live on all the main networks and everybody will be able to see it in real time. Kat Harlem, regarding membership, iPhone doesn't display the join button. It didn't display on my iPad either. I had to break out an old laptop. Oh, that's interesting. Or maybe it's just different displays on different screens. That's very strange. But yeah, details are in the links below, my loves. If you are interested in supporting, thank you very much. Thank you for mentioning that, Kat Harlem. Marina, Sharon on Piscot. How many views again? Where the squad is more famous than Sharon Osbourne. Yes, Gen Commonwealth, absolutely. If Invictus was streamed worldwide, way more people would have liked it. Carrie Ann, and there's only 500,000 people in The Hague in the Netherlands. Right, right. So basically, the whole of The Hague was watching. Benjamin, why would you want to be at an event the family hasn't invited you to? Only the press. You're admitting that you've been paid off. Marco's father knows no shame. Well, desperate for money. Very, very desperate for money. Oh, actually, before I go on to this slide, yeah, I wanted to show this. If you follow the community tab, you've probably already seen this. I mean, same energy from Charles and Diana when their marriage was basically going down the drain. And this is just sad. You know, I don't look at this and laugh and snicker. I look at this and it makes me sad. It makes me sad that William didn't do better for his family, for himself, for his wife. It seems like he's just really taken after his father and not his mother. And I'm sure his mother tried. But even Diana said it herself, they will raise the heir, I despair. And I do wonder when I look at these pictures, I mean, these are all official, you know, Getty images, Getty pictures, and these are the pictures that they're choosing. So is it that the press themselves are trying to find ways of making the obvious obvious, that they're not even really playing along with the game and trying to hide it anymore? Or is it that they literally could not find any pictures of these two people smiling at each other? It's just cold as ice. And this isn't, new. This isn't just this event. It's like it's been getting worse and worse and worse with almost every event. If he's looking at her, he looks mad. If she's looking at him, he's looking past her. Oi, very sad. Sonia, there are people using our names in the chat pretending to be squaddies, mods. Be on the lookout with your spray begone. Yeah, this has happened before. And I am mindful that as this platform grows and more people listen, there's going to be more trolls. And the palace and the Royal Rota Rats, they're very aware of us. And I'm sure that some of them listen. I'm so sure. It would make me laugh, to be honest, if they did. Hi, Camilla Tomini. Hi, Roy Nika, if you're listening. Give us a smiley emoji in the chat if you're listening with your burner account. In my mind, like, Kensington Palace staff have burner accounts and they listen to this. Okay, let me. Was there any? Oh yeah, yeah, and I mean this from Getty Images. It's almost like they're trying to say it through the images that they take and release. But yeah, I think that was pretty much all I had to say. Gosh, we're almost going past an hour now. So gonna end with your comments, and then we will call it a day. But thank you so much, everyone, for coming to the Friday chat and everyone who gave super stickers and joined memberships as usual. Thank you so much for helping this channel grow. You all really are the best. And I think by the end of next month, we'll probably get to 9,000, which will be amazing. So let's finish up with your comments. Oh, have they cancelled Sharon Osbourne's show? I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. 10,000 viewers. I mean, that 10,000 is like that is doable for the average nobody running a podcast nowadays. For someone who once had one of the biggest hit shows on MTV, and for someone who's probably getting paid as much as she's getting paid, that is pretty abysmal. And it also says to me that all of those times that she was given opportunities on other talk shows, it was the other people that were carrying her. Yeah, London Lady, even Russell Brand has 5.6 million viewers. Yeah, Rahini bashing Meghan is not as lucrative as before. And I'm sure even his listeners are just sitting there and going, why are Piss Moron and Trump talking about Harry and Meghan? What is this relevant to whatever discussion they're having? And this time, actually, what Trump said about Harry, it did not stick at all. At all. But maybe a year or two ago, it would have. Julia. Lumpy Tom will have a chicken chief in his breast pocket while standing proudly on the balcony next to Pedo in his bed. Okay, can we just agree that Thomas Markle will not be on the balcony? Rachel, I would like to be a member, but never can see it. Okay, I'll post it again in the community tab later, so you can all see it. Sorry if you're having issues joining. I might add membership option to buy me a coffee as well if you're struggling to get it on YouTube. Or I might. Do you guys want me to add Patreon? I'm gonna be honest with you. If I add Patreon, there's not really anything that I can update it with. I do hope that eventually, when there's maybe like 100 or so members, we can start having like private chats about the more saucy things that I just can't say on YouTube. But aside from that, like if I create a Patreon, just know that I there's not really a whole lot that I can update it with, I'm afraid. I might get some like merchandise on Patreon, and then after a certain amount of months, you get sent something. I think like Sausage Squad podcast do that as well. But yeah, if you guys want me to add a Patreon so you can actually have some kind of membership, do let me know. Yes, Brenda, Karma is coming for all of them. Karma and Winter. And Big Moron will be kicked out into the street soon like a slithering rodent from hell. Yeah, even hell does not want the slithering rodent back. Thank you, Lex, for super sticker. Much appreciated, darling. Happy Saturday to you. Ooh. Joyce, they cannot turn a tour when they don't know what to do. Yeah. And I don't understand why at this point they just don't have more diverse people on their team. If only just to get it right for the tour. Just like hire a black person for 5 minutes to help you get it right. Benjamin, maybe the palace staff don't care. Morale must be low. Well, I am so sure that the palace staff listen to podcasts like mine and Baron's, and they're in the spaces on Twitter. You know, they've got burner accounts. They know, and I feel like they're creating this emperor's, new clothes situation where they're putting the Cambridges in a bubble and the other royals in a bubble and making them think that all is well, everything is going well. The peasants are angry, and the peasants are happy. Like, no, the peasants are angry. They're paying double the price for bread and triple the price for gas. Daphne, I am sure if the Spencers were involved, they would garner more popularity and acceptance. Since racism is a forte, it's obvious. Yeah, I did wonder about that. Are they going to include the Spencers? Did the Spencers even want to be included? Because if it was me, I'd stay away. And because if it was Harry and Meghan, it would be different. They look scared to touch them. Yeah, those kids look like they were asked to hug them. It's not. I don't see any actual enthusiasm. Like if it was Harry and Meghan, they would have ran towards them. I feel like they're probably just told. Yes, Wendy. Morgan and Osborne deserve their karma. They are friends. Well, I don't know if they'd actually call. I don't know if I'd call them friends, but they've been associated with each other for some time. I think they were both on Britain's Got Talent, or was it America's Got Talent at one point, which I just find weird because neither of those two individuals have any amount of talent to be judging other people with talent. Miss P talks. They needed to ask Prince Harry and Duchess Meghan to give them a heads up on how to do royal tours. Well, they had that opportunity and they missed it. You're already late. I think they'll hire a person of color, but they're only comfortable with the Priti Patel type, so that won't help them in the long run in their planning to avoid the mistakes made in the Caribbean. That is true. They will most definitely hire a Priti Patel type that just tells them what they want to hear. Thank you so much, Rachel Windley, for the super sticker. Much appreciated, darling. Wishing you a great weekend. Um, Welletta, Moron needs to be charged with harassment because he is a stalker. Cat Harlem, the fact that Edward laughed in the PM's face, then later stated he didn't take notes regarding reparations shows he doesn't give a damn either. I'm done with the Wessexes. Yeah. After this tour, I hope to never see the Wessexes again. I didn't see them before and I was very happy. I didn't need to see them now. Especially didn't need to see them hugging black children. Rachel's son, Piers Morgan asked Trump what he thought of them. He knew the answer. I don't even understand like what the thing is, I don't want to actually watch this show to get the context of why he was asked that question. I don't even think it was relevant to anything that they were talking about. And Trump is no longer president, so what on earth are they even talking about? This is business model, isn't it? But that business model is failing. It's not working anymore. Legs, Pierce should just move back to the UK with his bigotry. Moved to the US but his new prospect to bully Meghan and is failing still. Okay, so one of the things that I'm actually working on is a whole history of Piers Morgan's failed career because it is a failed career. He's literally just hopped from one failure to the other. He was once, a lot of people forget this, Piers Morgan was once one of the most powerful tabloid editors in the UK, and he messed that up on multiple occasions at two different papers. He was fired from the Mirror. Yeah, I'm gonna do a whole video on this. And then he moved to the US, was basically handed Larry King's career, and he made that fail. This guy interviewed Beyonce, Oprah, and Serena Williams. So basically, all of the golden people at the Black People's Hollywood Cookout, he's interviewed, and he still failed. So go back to the UK for what? He got fired from ITV. He's had so many other opportunities in the UK, and he just continues to flop. And also, just in terms of that kind of right wing rhetoric and commentary, he has so many competitors at this point that I just think even for that side of the aisle, Piss Moron is just getting old. Like there's all these new podcasters and the likes of I feel like people are going more towards the younger set, people like Ben Shapiro, Candace Owens. So even from like his side, he has a lot of competition. And I just think, the youngins on the right side of the aisle are just getting bored of him and they're just going elsewhere. I don't think it's because there's not a market for what he has to say. I just think he's getting old for the market. Yes, Miss P talks. He has an obsession and he will be taken down. I think that the court case with Harry is going to be the end of him. Oh, thank you so much to Brenda Tembo. The super sticker. Much appreciated, darling. By the way, guys and dolls, if you ever give a super sticker and I just happen to miss you or not mention you, just know that it is by no means on purpose. There's just so many comments that come through that sometimes these things do get missed. So I do apologize if I ever do miss you. It's not on purpose. Elaine, Philip said Anne was the son he'd always wanted. Wow. Okay. That's news to me. I didn't know that not a side of Philip I thought existed, especially with his desire to come back as a deadly virus that wipes out the human race. His words, his literal words. Unfortunately, I must head back to work. Break is over. Oh, enjoy work. It's Friday. Work is almost done. Elaine, it would have to be debated in Parliament. Would that be removing Andrew of his title? Yeah, I don't really think that anyone in Parliament with all of their shady dealings wants to debate about Andrew. I don't know if you heard about this, but there was a male MP who was sitting in Parliament watching porn next to another female MP. I mean, just gross. They need to name and shame this person. RP, people need to stop promoting that woman on Twitter. Are you talking about Tina Brown? Because if you're talking about Tina Brown, I 100% agree. I've seen too much about Tina Brown this last week. I feel like the squad has promoted her more than anything and anyone. Andrew, yes, it's a tradition. The Queen can't do anything without Parliament, including divorces. Oh my. And so in other words, William's gonna have to work a bit harder to get Rose. And Cinderella, the reason people were attracted to Weinstein was because he wielded so much power. Too much power. Way too much power. Lauren, yes, that's why no one has made the effort to strip Meghan and Harry despite the ridiculous outcry. Yeah. And I do actually wonder if any of those people who are screaming, strip Harry and Meghan of their titles, even understand the process that, Parliament would have to go through to strip them of their titles. I'd also like to know from those people why they think that Harry and Meghan should be stripped of their titles and Andrew shouldn't. And even if you strip Harry and Meghan of their titles, Harry is still a hereditary prince. And wouldn't that just mean that he would just revert to being the Prince of Wales? And because Meghan is married to him, she would just be Princess Henry of Wales? That's what I think. So either way, it's really not the loss that these people think it is if Harry and Meghan were to ever be stripped of their titles, and it's not happening. Kat Harlan, with regards to all the lies Tina Brown has been saying about Meghan, you have to question her stories about Diana. Did she write about Diana? I did not know that. I literally do not know anything about this woman, I have to say. Like, this week is the first time I've even heard of her. Butterfly, Kate looks sad like Diana before her divorce. That ring is cursed. William is always pruning rose bushes. Well, I agree that the ring is cursed. Like, that is not a ring that I would have wanted. And how interesting is it that William gave her that ring and Harry gave Meghan Diana's freedom ring? Marilyn, thank you for taking one for the team. What's that? What do you mean by that, Marilyn King? Sorry, I'm about 5 to 10 minutes behind on your comments. Mary, I made it before it ended. Yeah. Yeah, well, everyone's got a lot to say, I guess, because it's Friday and we're all drinking now. So we will make it through these comments. Joyce, Anne was in Australia for 10 days and nobody really know what she did. Yes, please, somebody, please tell me what Anne did. I still don't know. She packed her suitcase and she got there. She walked in and she walked out of every single event. Lauren, wasn't there a research done on royal patronages and there was no significant impact from their presence or patron? Yes, yes. That research was done and it proved that. And that's because some people out here um, take 8 years between visiting their patrons, and then their patrons call them out live on Zoom calls. Okay, let me zoom through your comments because quite a lot. Church Nelly, thumbs up, everyone, or get hooker healed. You have been warned by Church Nelly. Nobody out here wants to get hooker healed. Church Nelly, weren't you practicing on your stripper pole the other day? How's that going? You're already late. It's both. Anne said she wouldn't interact with the Royal Rota, and they said okay because she wasn't popular anyways. Okay, mutually beneficial then. Uh, the Royal Rota don't travel with Anne because Anne doesn't want them with her. I heard this about her. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be a very exciting tour if they went anyway, because no one even knows what she did in Australia. Yes, Wendy, I can't wait for archetypes either. That is coming soon. Okay, who's going to get the last word of the day? Who's going to get the last word of the day? Thank you so much for the moderators for doing your best with these nasty video cam comments that keep coming into our chat. That is so gross. Yes, please get the porn troll out. We don't want you here. Nobody is going to be watching your nasty cam girls. Naughty Doctor, they should change the BBC as having sole broadcasting right. They played politics last time. Yeah, I agree with that. And also the BBC is kind of going down anyway. I think they're taking away the licensing fee. So they should just change. Change to another network. Or quite frankly, maybe just set up some like live streaming on YouTube or can't Netflix get into live streaming events? I don't see why they can't. Yes, Emily's history is repeating itself before our very eyes. Very, very sad. Elaine, I'm going back over all comments to remove trolls. Thank you so much, Elaine. Thank you, all moderators. You do an amazing job. Because I can't even keep up with all the positive comments and then to go through like all the trolls as well. I mean, I think I've booked like 500 people on this channel. All right, who's getting the last word of the day? Definitely in Canada, you cannot hug children. We have child protection and vulnerability laws. Oh, that's interesting. But I guarantee you, if it was Harry and Meghan, the children would be running to them. Yeah, Cindy, the balcony is becoming a place you don't want to be seen on. Because trust me when I say, by the time we get to the Jubilee, there will be peasants throwing tomatoes on that balcony. I'm actually excited for the Jubilee, just to see how it goes down now. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry, guys and dolls. I'm gonna have to miss so many of your comments. Okay, Rosa Roberts, I'll give you the last word of the day. Everyone have a good, blessed evening, a fantastic weekend as well. And as always, thank you to all the supporters for your super chat and memberships. Stay safe, stay hydrated, make some yummy waffles for breakfast tomorrow, and I will see you again on Monday. Bye, everyone.
I know I messed it up, but in my soul, I feel a love for you that's out of control. Sometimes I feel like I can make you whole. I just can't change my emotions. There isn't anything I wouldn't do to prove that everything I say is true. And if you let me, I keep loving you. I just can't change my emotions. Come on, love me again. You're all I need. Can you love me again? I mean, come on, love me the way you did. I just can't change my emotions. Baby, I know this might sound insane, but baby, you're gonna love me again, love me again. Yeah, I paid my dues to show you I'm not the same. It has cost me much, but I would do it again. So baby, come on, love me again, love me again. I know I messed it up, but in my soul, I feel a love for you that's out of control. Sometimes I feel like I can make you whole. I just can't change my emotions. Oh, come on, love me again. You're all I need. Can you love me again? I mean, come on, love me the way you did. I just can't change my emotions. Sweet emotion. I know I messed it up, but in my soul, I feel a love for you that's out of control. Sometimes I feel like I can make you whole. I just can't change my emotions. No, there isn't anything I wouldn't do to prove that everything I say is true. And if you let me, I'll keep loving you. I just can't change my emotions.
I'm hey! Oh my god! 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 Oh my god!